live chat experience for you and your viewers. Choose who can participate. I can put people on timeout. Maybe moderators. Oh, that's good. All right, maybe we made it. Like literally. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I wish I would have got dressed up and cute for y'all, but I was born cute, so. Hmm. No, for real. Like, let's do chat message. Hopefully, y'all come up in here. I'm not gonna wait for y'all to start the message because I know for whatever reason tomorrow when this message you can watch it. For a lot of people who are in the northern area, you'll be able to view this content as you might not be going to work the next day. So we're gonna see. I think they said something about 12 inches of snow in New York or something like that. You know, the last time it snowed and it was a like pretty decent amount. One moment. I was concerned for New York, not like concerned and worried, but I was like, my mind was going to the subway station. I was like, what do they do if the snowfall? Like, I don't think the snowfall would be too big in New York to fill up the area of the where you would go in the subway station. If you know what I'm trying to communicate and say. But it's like, how do they keep that area clean? Like, do they have people on the clock like shoveling or putting salt down or something? They probably does. Anyways, yeah, because like you need to keep them people safe. Because the last snowstorm, I know there were a lot of places before, even before the snowstorm, right? There were a lot of places of businesses I saw weren't putting snow down, was being kind of selfish with where they were shoveling and stuff like that. And what I mean by that is like I saw places of business that let me tell. All right, so this is a funny one. It's not really funny, but it's kind of funny if you get like a little bit of dark humor. There is this like place that does like physical therapy in regards to like chiropractors. They have this business and locally, right? And they have a big property area on the corner. If you know anything about like corner homes, corner businesses, in regards to avenues and boulevards, like they pay the most property tax, right? You would think a chiropractor office that pays more property tax would care about salting down majority of the places where the snow could turn to ice. Why the fuck they only shoveled out I guess like was considered their front door for customers in the parking lot, and they didn't shovel the rest of the remaining areas. So like if you don't visit the chiropractor, they was literally given a reason for you to visit the chiropractor. It's like they didn't even give a fuck if you tried this like suit and they were like, you're gonna come here anyways. God forbid on my life. I was just like, yo. Hey guys, thanks for all the love. Thanks for all the love. But like, I'm so for real. People can be so selfish sometimes. Like, why would you not shovel and salt down the place is appropriate when it's snowing? Like, knowing like you could possibly get either a lawsuit or get somebody hurt. Like, that's really up if you really think about it. So like, and then there was certain people I was seeing. I understood because they had to travel long distance. A lot of people in my community locally who own businesses, they don't live in the in the community for the most part. A lot of them live like in another state or something like that. They don't mind taking that drive down. They don't mind traveling because yeah, I be noticing that where I'm at, like people will go a distance to go work or own a business rather than locally owned. I don't know what that's all about. Gentrification, something. I don't know. That was meant for somebody to hear. Anywho, y'all, today, if y'all ready for a good story time in regards to channel messages today, because I literally just got back from doing errands, and when I say like, yo, and today was so interesting because my whole life like anytime I go outside, go do errands, go do events and stuff like that. God forbid, no negativity on the events I go do. But like, when I'm just a regular day for me has always been like extraordinary, and I just kind of be going through the motions. I'm used to it. A lot of people who befriend me, get close to me in some sort of way, like where like we become cool and they start hanging out around me. They start to see these extraordinary events take place, versus when I tell them the stories of what be going on or what's happened. They because when you hear the story, you're like, nah, no way. Today I was opportune to record a whole bunch of scenarios going on today, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So people are again like in regards to my content are getting to see like a whole bunch of like I wouldn't necessarily say funny because but like humorous things because you know how social media works. So anywho, where do we want to start? Do we want to start with the story time today? Or do I want to start with the channel message I learned earlier? All right, let's start with the channel messages of what happened today during my errands. You ready? Because there's a message in it for everyone. So what happened? So the journey today, in regards to me doing errands today, started with I'm like, all right, it's an upcoming snowstorm. It's not gonna be that bad. My whole time I'm thinking people are like, oh my gosh, it's about to be a huge snowstorm center. I looked at the weather before, like they would start making I don't know newsworthy announcements about the snow. I'm like, it's literally snowing. Like, I mean, it's literally raining like 2 days later. Like, I don't know what all the fuss is about. I mean, like the day of or the day after it snow, you know, people might be like complaining about shoveling and stuff like that, but it's literally going to like melt away. So I don't know who need to hear that. So, anywho, so it's like, oh my gosh. So like, all right, real quickly, let me just talk about something real quick. Right, there's this Dreamcatcher message I've talked to you guys about a few times where I told y'all that ooh, you see how the camera moved as soon as I brought that shit up because the bitch I'm talking about trifling. Now it's like it's so interesting. Like these previous couple of days, there's been a lot going on. I'm gonna get into it. Like I met this I was doing errands the other day, right? I was doing errands the other day, and there's this guy that I always see when I do these errands because he works at this particular location. That's all I'm gonna say. And he's handsome and everything like that, but like he's more of like my old type, not like my type now. So like he's something nice to look at when I'm doing these errands. And I know he's like he be crushing on me and stuff like that. Like no pun intended. So I just be like, you know, something nice to look at when I'm doing my errands. Cool, 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 cool. So he just like it's so funny. I've been able to do a lot of dating advice tips in regards to this guy because like I knew a lot of stuff. But I didn't realize I could talk to people about like dating advice and via love messages and stuff like that. Until I had certain experiences with this guy. Like at first he was it didn't seem like he was paying me any attention because I wasn't paying him no attention. I'm like, oh, it's just a cute face. All right, cool, whatever. I'm doing my errands. And then I started realizing, oh my gosh, she's crushing on me. He thinks I'm cute. Because he would do like the typical thing guys would do when they crushing on somebody. Like I'll come into his establishment and then I might not see him. And then he'll just start talking really, really, really loud to get my attention. I'd be like, he's working today, or I'd be like, he wants me to know he's here. I'll just be like, all right, cool. But like that was cute and all until like one day he started talking real loud to one of his associates, his employees, right? So the other employee, she visibly, she reminded me of this previous friend I had that's a Libra. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't fuck with her no more, but so I had this Libra I used to be friends with. She reminded me of her. Now, the person who reminded me of the Libra at that establishment with that guy, she got a crush on the nigga. All right, they work together. They mention how it resonates for you. There's a woman that works with this guy who finds you attractive. All right, and she could feel a little intimidated. Not even just intimidated. It's more like insecure because this man finds you attractive and you're not paying him no mind, and she works with him each and every day, and it's like she got to do the most to get this man attention. Let's start there. So this one particular day, he was just talking really loud and this and third. He was like, man, like he said, he just started talking about how he's into music and he makes instrumentals himself. And he had the skill to do such, and for the environment where he was working for is completely different from that type of entrepreneurship work, right? And because you know me, Multimedia 7, Jessica's Time, I make music. So like when I heard that, I'm like, I never really paid him any mind. I was just like, oh, you make instrumentals. Now I never told this man that I make music. But I've always heard, because when I come to the establishment, he's always playing music. I'm just like, all right, he got a good sense of music. So when he said he made instrumentals, I was curious to see what kind of instrumentals that he makes. I'm like, all right, like he has a good ear for music. He probably makes some good instrumentals. So we start talking. He talked about he want to send me emails. I'm like, all right, like we exchange emails, and then before I left the establishment, he was. It's like he was so excited that I was interested in what he wanted to do for a career path. Um, it's so funny because like when I started out doing music before I even professionally, I was like, oh my, I was one of the people. I was just having a conversation with God about this. I was one of the people. I was just like, man, I just want to help people and kumbaya and this, that, and third. It ain't all the way there. I kind of made some notes, changed some things around in regards to that mindset because it's just like the same thing in regards to like, oh, we want world peace, and it's not that we can't achieve it. It's just some people just suck. No pun intended. So I had to make some revisements in regards to that. Anywho's, anywho's. Long story short, um, it's like he almost forgot that he found me attractive when he started sending me emails, and he was just like, "Oh my gosh, I have to send I have to make sure we got each other numbers." So I'm just like, "All right." And the instrumental, come to find out, I didn't message him. He sent me the instrumental via email and text message, but I didn't message him. I didn't look at the message. I didn't listen to the instrumental for days because I was just so busy doing promo and stuff like that. So I'm just like, it was a lot going on. It was a lot going on. So like behind the scenes that I know about. So issue for my enemy, two enemies. All right, somebody enemy, ain't me. So basically, the guy, like I came back to the establishment even though I didn't look at his messages, but I really don't give a fuck. I was just like, I'm gonna get to it when I get to it. He don't know I make music, so like I'm gonna get to that shit when I get to it. And he didn't really text me after that anyway, so I'm just like, because he was waiting for my response. So fast forward, I never like we would have general conversations, but then it wasn't until that day we exchanged numbers, and I finally, maybe like after a week or so, responded to him about the one instrumental that he sent me, because the other one didn't send via my text message. I already knew symbolically like something was going on because he last minute wanted me to have his number. Mind you, I know he finds me attractive. Now, was I looking for anything with that man? No. Howsoever. I just knew symbolically something was going on. But I was telling, so I texted him and I told him, like the other day, a couple days ago, I'm like, hey, I listened to the instrumental, I really like it. I'm like, keep doing what you're doing. Good job, center. Now, this is a I wouldn't say a tactic, but this is a form of conversation I would have with a lot of people in regards to the music industry early on in the professional field of making music earlier on. And for a very long time, I stopped doing that shit. Like, I really stopped doing that shit. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Especially with people who don't, this is the reason why. Especially with people who don't motivate themselves to do something that they're really good at. Um, because, like, I understand the reason why I would tell people, especially in regards of music production, making music early on in their career before, like, they really, like, make the choice to really be in it, do it. I used to tell people in the earlier portion of my career, in regards to that, like, you're doing a great job. Keep going. Sky's the limit. Yada yada. And what I realized about doing that is just like there's some people in this world that they just want to hear that, and then do nothing else with what you're telling them. Like there's certain people in this world that just like they want to feel important but not be important. Like it's fucked up to say. I ain't gonna hold you. Not for me. It's not fucked up. But like I had to stop doing that because like it felt like I was stroking people's egos who didn't want to do shit but just keep their ego intact. And like it is what it is. Because let me tell you what happened with that guy. I told him I liked the instrumental. He sent me the one out of the two that was properly sent. He messaged me back and told me thank you, and that nigga said something like, "Oh," I'm just like, mind you, he don't know I'm into music production and stuff like that, so I'm just like, all right. But then he said something like, the words was encouraging. He gonna keep at it. I'm like, cool. I go back to the place of business to do an errand previously. He see me. He was doing something completely else. He see me, but I could have got help from somebody else, but he went out his way to come and help me. So like it's a win-win situation symbolically. So I'm all right. So because I helped him boost his ego or something like that, something about a male ego. I helped him boost his male ego. So he then in return wanted to help me. Um, then what happened was he was on the phone while he was at work, and he's talking to one of his homies, one of his bro. He like me, like yeah. I should text her back. She I find her attractive and this that and that. I don't know who he talking about to this day. I don't know who he talking about. Minding my business. Um, and he trying to be then like it's like he was like trying to talk either about me or another woman in front of me. I don't know if he wanted a response. I don't know if he wanted me to think he a macho man. I don't know if he wanted me to think he a ladies man. I don't know what he wanted me to think. I'm just over here. I'm here to like do these errands. It is what it is. And he was trying to be so cool. He trying to ring me up, and then he made a mistake when I was getting the products that I needed. He rang me up for the same item twice. That one notified me, let me know that in their business system they don't have a S. Is it SKU? Is it SKU? A school? A school? Is it SKU or SKR? You know what I'm talking about? It's a certain like each product in the store is supposed to have a certain number, so that even if you ring it up in the like in the register, it shouldn't go more than once. So that let me know one thing. So I'm like, all right, that's good to know. And sometimes I'm not even gonna hold you. Sometimes when those type of things happen and people are moving too fast and they seem busy and flustered and stuff like that, I'll be letting this shit go. I'll be like, I don't care. Especially like if it's not like I for the most part I don't be caring. For the most part, it's because a part of me don't want to be confrontational. I don't want to seem like a bitch. So I usually let it go. But like that day, I was just like, stand up for yourself. I'm like, stand up. I'm like, yeah, like I'm like, stand up. I'm like, so then they on the phone, like, yeah. I'm gonna get at her and this, that, and the third. I'm gonna talk to her and this, that, and the third. Da, da, da. He on the phone saying all this shit. He didn't ring me up wrong. Ring me up wrong for the purchase. I didn't basically kill his shit. I was like, I'm like, he on the phone talking to this nigga and it's on speaker. I'm like, yeah, you ring me up for this order twice. You wasn't supposed to do that. And I said it very politely. And when I said you ring me up for like it's like as soon as I started talking, as soon as I started explaining the situation, before I even said what was wrong, that same woman who got like a crush on that nigga and be working with him, she turned around so quick. She was servicing somebody else. She turned around so fucking quick. Like, oh, he did something wrong. It's like there's a man. Channel message. There's a man that finds you attractive, likes you or something like that. But it's something about his ego, something about a Leo placement he might have, and it's something about like he might be a little arrogant. He might be getting too cocky ahead of himself, something like that. It's something about his personality, right? And there's another woman that finds him attractive, and the woman knows that this man finds you attractive or likes you, is trying to like pursue you in some sort of way, but they don't mind because like it's like a dating thing. It's like a man could be free to date whoever he wants to date as long as it's not like a serious relationship, commitment, or something like that. So she's just like it's free game. But what the man does, what happened with the guy is this man is so excited that this particular woman, maybe because she's out of his league, he has gotten the opportunity to get closer to her or possibly date her or something like that. It's one of those scenarios where this guy gets big headed. It's one of these scenarios where this guy get too arrogant in himself, get cocky, that he start bragging to his homies, back to his friends. Yeah, you know, I got her number. Yeah, you know, I'm talking to her. This and the third, and it's another woman that's actually pursuing him, or like he might have on the side, or like you know might consider dating and stuff like that. And that woman is watching what he's doing with this woman that's out of his league. And the moment she realizes he fucks up with this woman that's out of his league, gives her the perspective of, oh, this nigga's not really shit. And then it's something like he gonna get embarrassed by his bro and his homies that he was bragging to. This is some shit. It was so interesting too because right after that, I went next door to go get me some food. I ain't gonna say what kind of food it was, but I went to go get me some food. Right when I went to go get this food, as soon as I walked in, I saw one of their employees. Now one of their employees is like one of the kids. It's not like a child though, but this is like one of the grown kids that sometimes comes there to work behind the register. How do I know who this one particular employee is? It's because last time, I ain't going to go into detail, but last time it was this exchange of cash for the food I was ordering, and he gave me the wrong change. Like he gave me like when I say like I gave him a big bill because I needed change, right? And he gave me like if I told y'all how much I gave him in the change he gave me back and how much the food was worth, you would be like, what the actual fuck? And I was concerned. Like for a moment I was just like, in that moment previously in that example, I was kind of like, all right, maybe he's not that good at math or something like that. Maybe this is not his specialty or something like that. But it was so interesting because like I had to bring that to the owner's attention, and come to find out that was like one of the owner's children or something like that. Like even though he was older in age, it's like, nigga, you don't know how to count, and we got you on the register. And then like we was over there doing simple math at the register, and it wasn't me, it was the teachers doing like a math lesson with the child. I was just like, dang. And I got my accurate change back. Howsoever, so when I came back in there, I saw this nigga again. I'm like, I'm like, all right, you know, it's been enough time. It's been like like maybe half a year or so since I seen this nigga. Like maybe you know he even got his math up. He behind the register again. He saw me, and it was so interesting because I saw him. I'm like, oh, that's that nigga. Then he saw me, and he was just looking at me like she looked familiar, and I'm just like, let me not make it. Let me be real subtle with this shit. So I get me a small order, right? No big bill this time. Literally, I gave him a 20. He was supposed to give me like $9 and some change. Literally, he was supposed to give me $9 and some change, like for real, for real. That nigga gave me $10. I'm like, no change, and I was like, no change, and he looked at me like, huh? I said, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm like, yo, why? Like, yo, it's like I don't know. It's something about me. It's like I try to go out my way not to be a bad person. I try to go out my way not to be a bad person, but I'm like, at this point, God, if you want me to have the full 10, let me have the full 10. 10 is in regards to your career, right? So the 9 is a change would have been something in regards of a gift, right? So somebody, all right. So you went to go get something, right? Somebody want to give you a gift. This could be a spiritual gift. This could be an actual physical gift, right? And it would have just been something that either was like spiritual or it could be tangible. But like God's like, no, I'm gonna make this person do something for you in regards to your career, and they not even gonna know they doing this shit. Yeah, I'm like, no change. He said, huh? I said, oh shit. I'm like, oh shit. Let me take this $10. And I hurried the fuck about it because I was just like, I gotta stop doing that. Like, God wants people to give me money. I need to let them give me money. Now, I just need to let it happen. I'll be like, oh my gosh, like, because I wouldn't want somebody doing that to me, but like in my place of business. But howsoever, it was just like, God want to give me the money. God gonna give me the money. Now, so I thought that was very funny. So I had got refunded, and it was so I had got refunded from the one place, then went to the next place, and they gave me more money. I was like, that is so funny. But yeah, let's talk about what happened today, though. let's talk about what happened today. So, one moment. My neighbor's eavesdropping. He found out I got a new nigga. Yo, I'm not even gonna get into it. I ain't even gonna tell y'all the details because like yo. Now, alright. Neither here nor there. No negativity. Oh my gosh, let's get into no. I gotta tell y'all this new one, right? Because fuck all that shit. Fuck all that shit. Because like I keep holding this shit in and I don't think I'm supposed to. So let's talk before I get into what happened today, right? Because it had to play the part. So like, I've been formulating these new channel messages for y'all. Basically like the previous like this whole week I've been making new channel messages for you guys. Mind you, let's start with this. Let's start with this real quick. Do you see this book? Look at the front page. It says love messages. I've been curious. You know how this book is like about almost a year, 2 years old. I've been trying to get these messages out to y'all. Look at this page. Look at this. Look how torn up it looks. Look, I'm gonna name out the what I can see from here. This not even the page. Look. This is the second page. This is what's left of the first page. Maybe it's significant. The only two zodiac signs I see on here is Aries and Leo. I never got to do the Leo love message yet. I haven't got to do the Leo love message yet. It's like it's like all this other stuff like messages I've been doing because people been like trying to come into my org field and stuff like that. I haven't been able to get to do these messages. Like look at even the second page. The first and second page. The second page is telling me who the fuck it is. Zodiac embodiments, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, Capricorn, Virgo. We know what terror bitch that is. I'm not playing with y'all. All day today is like I've been getting these channel messages. Something about Lilo and Phoenix. I was doing errands today. This bitch came up with the Lilo jacket. I'd be like, yo, when I be going shopping, I see that motherfucking Lilo and Stitch shit. I'd be like, bitch, I rebuke you. Because like, but at the same time, I know like she be seeing these messages. Both of them be seeing my messages and shit like that. They're not gonna admit it, but like, I mean, one does low key if you pay attention. But like, yo, I'm sorry, I did not mean to spit. Why do you bitches just fuck away? I'm sorry, that was so rude, but I just do not give a fuck today. Oh my god, message. Yes, like that shit. Yo, alright, I'm again like the reason why that Lilo comment was so fucking funny because I was at McDonald's today, and that even had to do with one of the channel messages I'm making today. But like, well, I made this today, this week, anyway. But I already made the message. We watched the 2D catcher messages, anywho's. I already been whatever's going on right now in Canada. I've been predicted that. It's the message where I was talking about the Mountain Dew orchard. All right. So yeah. I don't know what Drake doing, but like I see you, nigga. I see you. I see you giving back to the community. that nigga. That nigga's like, oh, you want to drink my drink? You gonna have to come here. You want to come out? You want to come outside? That nigga is funny. That nigga funny low key. Like I ain't gonna say too much because I don't want the wrong person to know what the fuck I know. Anyways, not yet. Anyways, oh my gosh. But yeah, I was at McDonald's. I was ordering some food, and it was this bitch that pulled up with the Lilo and Stitch fucking hoodie, and they was fucking mad. Like I thought I was like felt some type of way because I ordered food and it was so busy. It was all these people just started crying up. I knew something was going on. This is why I don't like telling people certain places I shop and I eat and stuff like that. Not because I don't want to share and the good things. It's just because once I start telling people, it's just something about me. Once I start telling people, oh, I shop here, I buy this product, I get this, it's like sold out all the fucking time. I went to go get to the store right before that to go get something specific. The main reason I went to go do errands, the whole shelf of what I needed was not there. I'm like, what the actual fuck? But I actually ended up getting a better product and a gift for myself. So I was very happy with that. I get to McDonald's, I order my food. And it's like it's like they skipped me. They skipped my order, and I was waiting for a little while, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had all this stuff. I'm like, I don't want to sit here with all this stuff. I'm with the hoodlums. And then the Lilo and Stitch bitch walk up with a whole group of angry women, and they start teeing up. They start fake teeing up like, "Where's my order? Why are they so busy? They don't got no workers back here." And low key, I felt the same way, and I understood how they was feeling. But I went to the front of the line. I already ordered my food. They didn't order their shit yet. So when I went to go order, ask the person about my order. I'm like, "Where's my order at?" It's like the person knew they skipped over my order. She was like, "Oh no, I'm getting that shit right now." And the woman, the Lilo Stitch and the other bitches was sitting in the back like, I'm just like waiting for my order, and they just like, I'm just like. Oh. I'm like, bitch, Lilo, I have not watched your content since like how many years ago? Oh my gosh, so funny, so funny. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Anywho, anywho, anywho. So let's talk about how the day went by because not went by, but oh god, for who went by? You know, Lilo used to be by. I ain't. They don't got shit to do with me. They don't got shit to do with me. Message. So let's talk about what happened during the errands I did today. But they correlate to the shell message. So like, all right. So first things first. So the other day, all right. So I ain't gonna tell y'all all that. So like, all I know is like niggas is powering up, niggas is powering up, Power Rangers type shit. So the other day, basically, I recreated a meal and it was really, really good, really, really good. I'm so happy for it. It's so interesting. You know, like how there'll be one product and then there's the same product, but it's all right. I'm just the best example I can give. You know, like how you can go purchase a bell pepper. The bell pepper come in different colors, and they all don't necessarily taste the same. It was like one of those scenarios. I found out about this one product I always use, but it was like a better version of it, and I got it, and it was great. So I went back to the store to go get it again. I went to go get it again, and it was so funny because like this place of business is always like they looking at me like you always shop in other places like they're always looking at me like you're always because when I come in there I try it's so funny that I know that because like when I try to shop at this one particular store I be trying not to like bring too many bags in there from other places because I know they be getting jealous low key. So I'd be like, yo, like so I went in there and it was so funny because it was like God was like, show them who you are without saying who you are. And I didn't know what he meant by that. So I went to go get this product I purchased previously before because I liked it so much that I didn't even know they had. I didn't even know what it was. And when I went to the section to go look at it, like I'm going through the produce aisles I'm looking at them, I'm comparing them, the size, the weight, how it looked, which ones I wanted. Because I was using my spiritual eye to like grab a few things. Then these crowds of people these crowds of people were standing around me while I was at the produce aisle. I'm like I was doing all that, just looking. This woman, she like this. It was a crowd of people. So by the time I realized it was a crowd of people around me, I was just like, "What the fuck? All right, cool." Like I just started grabbing what I needed, and right before I finished grabbing all that I needed, one of the women spoke because everybody just had stopped to watch me do whatever I was doing. I was just like, "What the fuck?" But like, she was like, excuse me, ma'am. I see you like picking and sorting through like the produce, like." Why are you doing that? I'm explaining to her why, but not really telling her why. Like I'm telling her like the basics of why I was doing that. I'm just accustomed to it, and she was just like, "Oh, all right." And then she started she started trying to mimic what I'm doing. She was like, "Am I doing it right? Am I doing it right?" I'm just like, "Man," I'm like, "Just use your discernment. You're gonna know." And she's like, "All right." She's like, "You might as well get the biggest ones." I'm like, did she actually taught me something that I didn't know? So it was just like a great moment. And then, but I tried not to stay there for too long. I grabbed as much as I could, and then like I dipped off to go pay for my purchase. And like the whole the owners of the location and everything, they was just looking at the aisle where all these people were crying over where I was at picking this same product up, and they was just like looking at me and then looking at them, then looking at me, then looking at them. They was over there trying to buy up that whole section. They were trying to buy up that whole section. They like, why are you picking from these ones, not that one? Why are you sorting out like this? Like, and then I left them there, and they still was trying to figure it out. And and then I tried to hurry up and get out of the store because I was like, oh, I just brought the mad business. Like, let me just go. That shit was so funny. So I went there again today to go get like the same product. And then after that, I had went to another store, and then I saw this lady, and she had like this Gucci jacket, and it was like I ain't never seen nobody with a Gucci jacket. It was a Gucci bubble coat at that, and it's not like the garbage bag looking bubble coats. It was a nice Gucci bubble coat puffer jacket, I would say rather, really nice. I was looking at the rest of her outfit. I'm like, all right, that's the nicest thing she got on her. But like, no shit. I mean, I ain't gonna hold. She was the most attractive woman in the world. But I'm like, all right, she must have money. That's the first thought I was thinking when she was wearing that jacket. And you know what the fuck she started saying? She was buying all these bottles of shit, right? And she just start complaining about money. I was just like, ain't no fucking way you got this Gucci jacket on and you complaining about money. I'm like, ain't no, that's somebody who's like purchasing things that they're not necessarily supposed to be purchasing. Um, that's all that fucking told me. Like, it's somebody trying to like, and it was so funny because she was like, "Yeah, come over here." Like, she was like, "Yeah, go ahead." Like, I'm just like, "Nah, you got it." Like, I'm like, "You got it." I don't know what you're trying to invite me to, but I ain't going. Like, not with that bullshit. You know, like. I didn't know what she that was insisting of, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna let her go first, do what she gotta do. Then she was struggling to find her money so bad after getting all them products. The nigga at the counter was like, what you want? That nigga said, what you want? Got my shit, dipped out of there. I already knew what I wanted. I came in there knowing exactly what I wanted, but even when I had to look around to see what I wanted also, it still didn't take me as long as her to find her money. I don't know if she ever found that money. Anywho, I made like 2 to 3 purchases while I was there and still left before it. Like, I was just like, wow. So I'm like, all right, on to the next one. So I was like, all right, let me I was like, you know what? I don't really do this a lot. Let me take public transportation. It might be a lot to do right now. But then I realized I'm like, they say it's about to snow tomorrow. I'm like, it's nice as fuck outside. I'm like, you know what? Let me enjoy this stroll. Let me enjoy this stroll, in the community. You know, like I ain't like this is exactly how I went outside. I really did not give no fucks. Like I just put the shit on my head. I thought it was cold outside. It wasn't. Oh, so I make my stop at the first. All right, I make so the more of the first channel message is well, first two channel messages is you could be like a brand ambassador, um, influencer of some sort, and you bring a lot of business to people, companies. All right, places of business. All right, you're being notarized to do so because people see your value. People listen to what you say. I receive it, and yeah, they take your word for it. Then you have somebody who's competing with you from a materialistic, vain point of view of themselves. This is somebody who doesn't live within their means. This is somebody who will buy something to outdo you in regards of like clothing or materialistic things, and they can't even keep up with the payments of said purchase. They probably still paying that shit off. They probably they're the type of person that would get a expensive name brand outfit and then not be able to, feed themselves or pay their rent. Or this is the type of person that is trying to see themselves as competition of yours, and it's like in that type of scenario you could fucking never. Um so what happened next? So I went to the next store, right? So I went grocery shopping. I went grocery shopping. Now originally, all right, so let me tell you about. So I was upset because I realized my new favorite grocery shopping tote. I left it somewhere, but I'm not so mad because I can always go and go get it back because I know where it's at. It's actually pretty safe where it's at. Howsoever, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm like, I can just get another one if anything. So I ordered the tote um, via getting a purchase while I was still doing errands. So it was like I was shopping somewhere else while being somewhere else at the same time. I do that sometimes. So originally the grocery store I was gonna go to, I was just gonna go and get the product from there. But I'm like, no, why would I get the product from there when I can get it from over there? And plus they're gonna give me that QC tote bag. So I'm like, all right. So I ordered whatever I ordered. Went to this grocery store at the same time. Why I went to the grocery store, I didn't have to because I already ordered from another place. So I never really had to go to that grocery store. You feel me? But I think God wanted to show me something. So I get there. I get towards the grocery store. I'm like, oh, let me go get some yogurt. Let me go get some Chobani, so I can like just be eating my lavish yogurt during the blizzard before the rain. So I'm like, all right. So once I realized I only had like 4 products, 4 or 5 products, I was like, dang. I'm like, I really didn't need to come here, but I already want the yogurt, so let me get in the 10 items or less aisle. So probably because of like weather advisory and stuff like that, a lot of people went shopping today. So I'll go to the 10 items or less aisle, and I realized that like the line was out of order. So where I had came into the line, I'm thinking I'm a part of the line. There was another line going somewhere else, but it was discombobulated, like not my side of the line. Oh, God forbid. So I'm just like, I'm like, all right. So instead of losing my place in line, I was like, I'm gonna just stay to the side. I'm gonna be fair about the situation. I'm gonna let the people in front of me go, and then I'm gonna just get into line. Y'all, y'all, they was trying to take me back to an era of my life I did not want to fucking go. And let me not say they. It was just one particular person, and I was just praying to God while I was on the line. I was like, God, please do not let me show out in this mother freaking store. Not like that. Because I don't mind, but like not like that because it would defeat the purpose of me just purchasing 4 items. So I get to the store. I go to the store, get in line, get my 4 items, go in the 10 items or less aisle. I look at the other line, that's within the line I'm in, and I literally look to see how many people were in the line. I saw 2 people in the line, and then a line was forming behind me. So I'm just like, all right, these I'm gonna let these 2 people move forward, and then I'm gonna join into the line. Now, like I said, we was in the 10 items or less aisle. Now, the person who was in front of me in the line to begin with was this foreign couple that had way more than 10 items in their fucking cart. But in that moment, I was going via the basis of let me be fair. Is it fair that they're in the 10 items or less aisle? No. Would it be fair for me to confront them about it, although they're in front of the line or in front of me in the line? No. So I let them have it. These people, they saw me and they was like, yeah, get into the line. Yeah, yeah. And I'm just like, oh, that's so nice. I should just listen to them. But like, I was just like, you know what? I want to be fair. Let me let them go. The woman behind them was like of Latino descent, and she only had 2 items in her hand. I'm like, yes, I'm going to let the foreign couple go first. I'm gonna let the Latina woman go next, and then after that, I'm going to join in the line right after them. After that African couple, it was so funny because the African couple they had so much stuff. They had to have like 40 items in that bitch, and like um, it was so much going on. Like they were doing like partial payments and stuff like that. It was a lot going on. So I'm just like, all right, all right, all right. I'm being like, I'm just waiting my turn because it's just like, if I had the 40 items, like I would want everybody to wait their turn too. So I'm just like, all right. So I like, it's cool. It was in front of me. It's cool. The Spanish woman starts like moving up in the line, and she kind of looking at me like, "Can I go? Can I go? Like, are you gonna argue with me if I move up? Like I was already in the line. I really don't want to argue with you. Like she was looking at me like she didn't want to argue with me. She thought I don't know. I don't know if it was, I don't know what part of Latin America she from, but like it's like I don't know who she thought I was ethnically or whatever the case may be. But it's like I'm not even like that. No, I'm not even like that to like try to like bully you and intimidate you. I don't even fucking know you like that. You didn't do nothing wrong to me. So I was just looking at her like, girl, like yeah, go ahead, go ahead. And she like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. and and she was attractive too. So like so she walked up. She only had two items and stuff like that. But I'm like, I'm right behind your ass. Like, so you know what I'm saying? So no pun intended. That's when this woman, yo, is another foreign lady. I'm not going to tell you what her ethnicity is. She not American. Is all you need to know. She's foreign. She not the same foreign that like the couple that was in the front. She not the same foreign as the Latino descent woman. She's a different kind of foreign. I don't even know what you're saying. Cause foreign, cause you foreign. so she pull up low one cart space behind the Latino descent woman. She sees I'm about to go into the line. Now, granted, what I did not know then, well, until then, was her shopping cart was directly behind those two people because there was a line going down the aisle. All right, you ever went to the grocery store and the line so messed up and it's going in two different directions and then like the line is going from the register all the way down to the like grocery aisle. It was one of those scenarios going on, so I did not know. So I already made the decision I was gonna be the third person in that fucking line. For a moment, in all fairness, I would have let that lady move her cart up until I looked down into that bitch shopping cart line. Shopping cart, right? This bitch has so much shit in her shopping cart. I don't know if it was discernment. I feel like it was discernment. I was like, nah. I'm like, nah. I'm not letting her. I'm not letting her in. I'm not. And then like, it's like It's like to me, it was like I knew she knew she was wrong. I just instantly knew. I don't. It just like in my. I just started getting hype in my mind. I'm trying to be calm. I was trying to be calm. Like I was keeping to myself. But in my mind, I started just praying to God. I'm like, God, let this woman have common sense to just let me go into this line with these 4 items I have in this 10 or less items aisle. All that shit she had in her cart was almost like the equivalent of what that foreign couple had also. So I'm like, no. Like, I'm just like, in my mom, I'm like, no. I'm like, God, please don't let this woman let me act up in this fucking store. So, her sirens. Um, so the reason why I believe she knew that she was in the wrong, obviously, is because there was one shopping cart space open behind the second woman in line, the Latino descent woman, right? They only had 2 items. So it's like in my mind, I'm like, God, please, because I just already knew. I'm like, God, please don't let this woman try to test my gangster real quick, like for real. Um, because all it was all nothing but space and opportunity. In my mind, I already told myself if that bitch was to try to inch up in the fucking line, I was gonna swerve my shit, right into where I needed to be in that fucking aisle, and she didn't inch up. So just as soon as I was like about to turn the cart, I see her like try to like ease up into the line, and it's the way she did. It's like she tried to like you were already on the line, but you're trying to sneak into the line, but you could have just moved up. She never moved. When the Latino woman was moving up, she was not moving up. She was not moving up. It was a whole shopping cart space and opportunity. She like, if I was her and I'm not, I would have just been right behind that bitch. I would have been right behind that bitch, like, and then I would have, like, but she didn't. It's like she was just like, I don't know, like she about to, like, I don't know, like, let me see what she do first. So I start putting my shopping cart, where like turn it to go into the line. I see this bitch trying to like rear end my shopping. Skirt! Like a smooth put like smooth got into the line, and then like she tried to full force try to like almost jam her shopping cart into mine before she even touched that shopping cart. My neck, like, what you doing? Like, what you doing? Like, I'm like, you good? What you doing? Like, she just kind of like scrunched up her face and was like, then she did this thing where she started speaking in her native tongue, like where she from, her language, and then she started speaking in English and then back into her native. Ironically for her, I can understand a little bit of what she's saying. She don't know that, but she kept going back and forth from English. So I was just like, alright. So at first I wasn't gonna argue with her. I said, what are you doing? I was just like, what are you doing? Because ironically, I knew what she was doing. Ironically, she is right. She was in line. Ironically, it was a 10 items or less aisle, so you're still in the fucking wrong. And I was like, I'm not explaining this shit to her. Until she tried to like use her own body weight mass that like incomparable to mine, like incomparable to mine in the spiritual, to try to like knock my cart out of its court. And I just spazzed on her. I just spazzed on her. But like so politely, so eloquently. I said, you know you fucking wrong. You know this is 10 items or less aisle. You got all that shit in your cart. Why are you doing this? She just started speaking to me in her native language and tongue. I ignored the fuck out of her. This bitch take her cart and leave the line. Why would you leave the line? Why would you leave the line? It's not like I only got 4 items. What am I doing? Like, I understand if you was upset, like, because you thought I cut the line, but I didn't, because you have multiple items in your cart. You're not supposed to be here. Then 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 I'm not even trying to snitch on you. Like, for real, I wasn't even trying to snitch on you. And then you was just gonna be right after me. I only got 4 items. What are you upset about, for real? You was supposed to give me common um decency, courtesy. That's how I was viewing the situation. But then instead, you tried to start arguing with me, and then like I did get a little like acting petty with her, because like she kept trying to like knock her cart into my cart, and then like the first time she did that, I was like, "What are you doing?" This and third. She tried to argue me with it. The first time I ain't say nothing to her, and then she tried to inch up and do that shit again. I got on the back of that motherfucking shopping cart. Wee! And that was the time. And at that point, I was like, all right, God, I'm like, this is too much. I'm being too petty about this shit. Let me just. I'm like, oh my gosh. But I was like, wee. You know when like you just take off with the shopping cart and it just rides it by yourself? Oh my gosh, I was doing that shit in the aisle, like the shopping aisle near the register. That shit was funny as fuck. That shit was funny as fuck. So like that's when she had left out of the line, and she left out of the line to go to the next. She walked past. She walked out of the line with her shopping cart. Left her shopping cart in between both aisles. Took her physical body to walk past everybody else on another line to interrupt the cashier, just because she's seen somebody ethnically that's from where she's from. And she went to go report and try to snitch on me, talking about I cut her in line, right? Mind you, she's speaking in her native tongue from the country where she's from, with somebody who's working at the register from the country that she's from, trying to snitch on me. When I tell you that cashier cursed her the fuck out, she was like, "Where's I all I heard was the cashier say, 'Where's your shopping cart at?'" That cashier looked at where her shopping cart was at. Was like, "Bitch, you have more than 10 items. Why were you on that line to begin with?" Why I just do the Trey Rag smile? I'm gonna tell y'all why in a second. Um, so 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 she come back online, put her cart back right behind me. By the time I'm like the Latina woman's getting service, it's so funny because like guys didn't start having a conversation with me, and I'm like, I just said out loud, like because I was talking to God, but then I just kind of like started speaking out loud, and because I don't know, um, I just remember saying, I'm like, God, you have a very interesting sense of humor, because like what I seen was really funny, what that woman tried to do, right? And I said out loud, I'm like, God, you have an interesting sense of humor. As soon as I said that, this man walked up to the cashier and started laughing. And then the woman who was in front of me started laughing. Then come to find out they all knew each other. They all knew each other, and they was laughing and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, it was so it was so fuck. And then like I started laughing also. It was like a whole thing. So by the time I'm about to like purchase my items, right? I turn around, out like I guess to make I wanted to make sure she was right behind me, because like I didn't think it was right of me to cut her in line. But I've also like didn't mean no malice to her. It's just like treat people how you want to be treated. I turned around, look in line. She let two people cut her also. Two other people, three people cut her. So I ain't have to say nothing. God honest truth, I ain't had to say nothing. The way that woman was acting and doing all that malicious shit to me, right? So I turned around. I see these two people cut her in line. I said, "Man," I'm like, "No, come on, like, come here, like, you shouldn't let them cut you in line." This and third. Ironic of me to say, right? She like, "No." I'm like, now in my country, right? Now in my she done fucked up. Now in my country, when you do this, it's called waka. Like, and waka mean like walk away from me. Like it mean like fuck off. It mean like it's almost like fuck you bitch. It's like a curse. So like I'm like to me I'm like yeah, this bitch done cursed herself. You fucking stupid. You from another country. You use something from my country like to try to curse me or curse me out. And really, what you did was curse yourself. You dumb bitch. I'm like, nah, I'm alright. You know. And them two bitches cut you. So like, there's gonna be two women in her life. So like, someone tried to do all right. So moral of the message, right? Someone and all right. So and then at that time, one thing at a time. So there's a woman that it's a word, it's words of expression in regards to saying it's like a saying or something like that, like almost like too much dip on your chip, too much to bargain for, something like that. You know what I'm talking about. So like there's a woman who, and this could have to do with the word of God, or someone not believing the word of God manifesting in your life. So someone tried to do something indirectly to you to get ahead, right? This could be also somebody who believes in multiple different variations of the word of God. Like, I'm not talking like, oh yeah, esoterics and church and the Bible and Yahweh. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like there's somebody who doing Santeria. There's someone who going to church, and at the same time they're going to the voodoo priests, and then like this is one of them type of people, right? To get ahead in life, and they see you, and it's pissing them the fuck off, right? And what you got going on, and you're not doing you try to be fair about most situations. You're doing the right thing, you're doing what you're supposed to do, and they do all this fuck shit, so you're pissing them off because They're not doing what they really supposed to be doing. They're not in alignment spiritually, right? So by them trying to indirectly do something, be malice to you, um, this is somebody who could have went to like a voodoo priest. This is somebody who could have used your name in some sort of divination. This is somebody who could have took your name to like an altar or something like that, and they don't fuck with you, but they don't know the calling God has on your life in regards to your destiny. So what happened was that voodoo priest or whoever they went to in regards to you, they was like, fuck off. You don't know who that person is. This like, and then whatever they try to do to you, even if they try to do it themselves, it reverts back onto them. Where now there's two other women that are being sought after. It could be in regards to career also. There's two other women being sought after. Instead of that one woman, because they were trying to fuck around with you. They fuck around and found out in regards to doing divination against you, or trying to at least, where like they lost their position to two other women. How ironic. And then right at that moment, right before I got my, like I purchased my stuff from the store, right, my phone started ringing. Right after that woman, I told that woman she can come up into the line, like don't let them other people cut you and stuff like that. And she tried to, my phone started ringing. I'm like, saved by the fucking bell, bitch, because I was literally about to start wilding. I was about to start wilding. Like, bitch, who the fuck are you talking to? My phone started ringing. Why the fuck the area code from Texas? Y'all know who the fuck I sent the beginning of this message. You know who name I called in the beginning of this message in regards to Texas. When I would tell you, like, God was showing me like people trying to like get my attention, bro. I'd be like, do I have family in Texas? Yes. Do I talk to them? No. There's only one person I know of from Texas. I've never met them in real life. Bitch. Now, fuck off. Now, anyways. So when I seen that, I started laughing some more because I'm just like, she probably got a new message. She probably posted it online today, and like today, I already knew today was on some fuck shit timing because like, yo, why the fuck y'all want to know how I woke up this morning? I woke up this morning because like I woke up this morning to my mirror, right? I have this mirror. I never took it out the case. It stands up and everything. It has something holding it up and everything. I was asleep. I heard. I'm like, what the fuck? The whole mirror fell down by itself. By itself. By itself. I'm like, what kind of dumbass projections did somebody just try to do? And the funniest thing is the mirror fell into my prayer petitions. I got these prayer petitions I've been writing, these prayer points. When the mirror fell, it fell into the prayer points. I'm like, this dumb person. Someone tried to project some negativity to me. That shit fell right into my prayer points. I'm like, oh my, I was laughing so much this morning. So like when I seen that phone call, I was like, all right. So I picked up the phone call. I'm like, hello? Speaking. And it was a nigga. It was a nigga. So the nigga, like, he was my delivery driver, right? He like, yeah, they don't got everything of what you need, so like they only have one of what you want. Like I'm just all right, no, I'm like fine, just get the thing that I said that I requested, and refund me the rest of the money and this and the third. I'm like, look at that. I'm getting a refund. I'm still getting my want. It's not as much as what I thought I wanted, but like I'm still getting a refund. So I'm like, cool. Long story short, because I'm gonna summarize that real quick. Long story short, the nigga got me the wrong product. He got me a product that was worth more than what I purchased. Am I mad about it? No, but right is wrong. This is a product I always purchase. So I knew he got me the wrong product. So I'm just like, it's like this nigga came to me like, oh, and it was a hood nigga too. Like it was a hood nigga doing this delivery order, and and where I ordered these groceries from, these items from, was in the suburbs. So so he the way he answered the phone, he was like, yo. This nigga was calling from a Texas phone number talking about, yo, they don't got they don't got what you need here, but you heard like they got like they got one of the products you wanted, like what you want me to do in that, you heard like he was, that's how that nigga was talking to me, yo. That's how my delivery driver was talking to me, and it was so funny, and I was just like, yo, like I'm just like, yo, I'm like, you for real right now? Like in my mom, like, you for real right now? But I'm not privy to those type of people, but like, you know, I'm just like, it was funny to me, so I'm just like, it's like I'm like, in the ghetto. Someone in Texas is living in the ghetto. Or someone in Texas is going to the ghetto. Anywho, so long story short, I don't usually like to be that negative Nancy. Sometimes when people mess up like the Uber orders and stuff like that, I try to give them grace. But because that nigga called from a Texas number, because the way the week has been going, and niggas was already giving me refunds and giving me money, in regards to the purchases I've made this particular week. That was the third person that tried to fuck up my order this week. I said, nah, fuck all that shit. I already was standing up for myself this whole week. I said, yes, I'm going to report this shit to Uber. So I reported the shit to Uber, and Uber gave me a refund. Simple as that. So in 1 week, I got 3 refunds that I wasn't technically supposed to get because I'm supposed to get all my products in full. But they right is right and wrong is wrong. Everybody had to give me what I fucking want. So if I want to get the purchase again, I could. But like I'm gonna wait because, mm, anywho's so that shit was funny as fuck because like that lady who let them other 2 women cut in front of her, making it 3 people, including myself, who cut her in line. Um, she had gotten on the phone, started speaking in Creole to somebody, like, and the woman who were behind me, she was like, "Oh," she said, "It's about to be." She said it's about to. She said it's about to be some shit in the parking lot. And I'm just looking like, bitch, who gonna be in the parking lot? I'm like, park your car in the back of the parking lot, bitch. Like, I don't give a fuck. So like, but like, she talking to somebody on the phone, and like, she's speaking in her native language and telling the other 2 people, woman who was in behind her was like African American. I don't even think they was African American. They was foreign also. So when they said something like, "Oh, it's about to be some shit in the parking lot," or something like that. I'm like, I'm leaving. Like, I'm not staying here with you hooligans. Like, it was funny because like the whole time the other woman, when she was on the phone, she was talking to her nigga. She wasn't talking to like she wasn't calling nobody up. She wasn't calling nobody like to come fight or nothing like that. I'm like, oh, glory be to God, because we was doing all that. So I'm just like, why they instigate? So I leave from there, go to the next store, right? Go to the next store. I literally purchased everything that I needed, right? While I was like online, like purchasing my stuff, like literally at the register, um, the person who was at the register is like the assistant manager or something like that. Like he's not a manager, but he's like assistant manager. He's been working there for a few years. I've been seeing him. He's really good at his job. He does what he's supposed to do. I always see him there. So there's another nigga in there. I've never seen him before. He's relatively new. He don't look like he's from the area. He look like he just got this job, but he doing what he's supposed to do. I'm like the nigga is like at the register doing what he the assistant manager. Um, bringing my stuff up so I can purchase my order. And then the relatively new worker comes up and he's like, man, if I didn't clean all this stuff up, I don't know who was gonna do it. Yada yada yada. I heard him. I didn't think nothing of it. I was just kind of looking at him. I remember looking at him. I'm like, he's like an emotional gangster. Like he looked like a New York nigga. Let me. That's what I was thinking. He looked like a New York nigga that be like, yo, bro, like, what's going on? But when he get with his girl, he like, man, I don't know why you did that bullshit, man. Like, he like one of those. He like, man, you know I love you, girl. Like, what? He looked like one of those types. So I was just like, I was just looking, but I wasn't saying nothing. But I was like, I'm like, let me not, let me not mess with this nigga. Like, he doing his job. So like, I'm not thinking nothing of nothing. So, um, I didn't have my tote bag, so like I had to get creative. So like all the products I had wouldn't like break through the bag that I did have. So I was like fixing my stuff up at the shopping cart section that's at the front of the store, entrance and exit, and I left the register. You feel me? I left the area of the register. As soon as I got to that shopping cart, the assistant manager, he had somebody else online, right? That she was like beep, beep, beep. While he was ringing up the other customer's order after mine, that shit was like beep, beep. Hey Jalil, he like hey Jalil. He said either you work or you can clock out. Beep, beep. Like calm as fuck. It was nothing but niggas on this shift. I ain't seen no bitch working at this store. Excuse my language. That nigga said, "What? Who the fuck you talking to?" I'm like, "Oh my god, where my phone at?" Because I already knew. Because it was the way that nigga was like, "Who the fuck you talking to?" Told me everything I need to know about that situation. Because like in a working environment, even if somebody's your boss, when you if you ever, God forgot my life, if you ever get to a point where you like, who the fuck you talking to your boss, that means there were pre-existing issues before the scenario of that nigga saying what the fuck he just said. That was all I need to know was that nigga was fed up and he was ready. He was ready to say or do some shit. So I pulled my phone out, safely at the distance I was at. That nigga, who the fuck you talking to? He said, he said, that nigga's that nigga that. So basically, the assistant manager was like, I don't see you working. You being real lackadaisical. You slacking off. If you don't want to work, you know, clock out. So basically, from the context of the conversation, the manager the real manager left the assistant manager in charge, and come to find out, them two niggas don't particularly like each other, right? So the assistant manager was really doing the manager a favor, so, because I guess pre-existing, he asked not to work with that other nigga, the nigga named Jalil. No pun intended. Um, I know Jalil, and I've met Jalils in my life. It's only one Jalil that's technically kind of cool. Everybody else is kind of weird. Nah, no shade. So, and like, oh my gosh, like, so this nigga was like, said all that he said, basically he was being lackadaisical. The nigga Jalil was being lackadaisical. That nigga, all right. So I don't know if you ever seen where if you go into a store, any kind of store, and they're like restocking, and they'll have like the shopping carts full of the products that they need to restock or put back, and miscellaneous items, and the shopping cart will be fucking full. That nigga Jalil swung that shopping cart around to show the like to the front of the register section. Was like, I'm working, bruh. I'm working, bruh. I'm putting in work. It was 3 items in that fucking cart. I counted it. I'm like, oh my gosh. Because that nigga really was not working. That nigga really was not working. So the assistant manager was really in the right to tell him if he wasn't working, he can clock out. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, like he really making a fool of himself. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So so that it was like when I said everybody in that store, including the assistant manager, looked at that freaking cart and looked back at him, was like, bro, like if you want to clock out, you can clock out. Like, yo, that shit was so fucking funny. Then that nigga was like, he's like, bro, you think I need this job? You think I need this job? He was like, you know why I use this money from this job for? Like, I'm just like, yo. I'm like, yo, like, why is he so hype right now? Like it's like he ain't have to do all that. So I'm just like, so I'm just observing. I'm just observing. Long story short, that nigga came around the counter and tried to fight the assistant manager. The other nigga, the one I said like to look like a New York nigga, that nigga was like, no, chill, son, go chill, go chill. He was like he said like you doing too much. Yo, chill, son. Yo, chill. Man, they were doing all that shit. All I heard that nigga Jalil say like, "You a bitch, you a bitch." I'm like, ah, like in the inside, I wasn't interrogating because if I would have instigated, I knew they would have fought right then and there. Because I don't know, I know how to instigate, but I choose not to. Experience me instigating with people, and it works. I'm not an instigator. I don't want to be an instigator. I have the gift to do so if I want to, but I ain't gonna turn up like that. But like I heard that him call that nigga a bitch, and then they was about to fight. I grabbed my belongings and I did. I left. I was like, oh nah. I'm like, oh nah, yeah, I ain't gonna be here because if they start fighting in the store protocol is to lock all the fucking doors in there and shit like that. I ain't want to be stuck in there. So I grabbed my shit and left. So I went outside safely with the environment of the transparent windows and I started recording. By the time I get outside, the nigga who was trying to break up the fight was trying to help the assistant manager jump that nigga. I'm like, oh my gosh. I walked off and then I walked off. I was just like, yo, they wildin'. So like I go to yeah. So all right. So yeah. All you need to know about that situation, like niggas arguing over money. Like it's something about men right now, male egos and work environments, and niggas is like competing over who make more money than them and management positions and leadership and stuff like that. Niggas is like really heavily debating right now. Like it's oh my gosh. So just pray against any negativity to you and your loved ones. Amen. I receive it. Because this has nothing to do with women. It really has to do with men. But like I don't know if the money they're making has to go towards a woman or something, or their women if they have any. And it's like I don't know, something somebody is doing. It's a scenario. It could be 2 to 3 men in the workplace, and one of the men is slacking off, and something about the person slacking off is unnecessary and doesn't help the financial gains of a business and or company. So um two one or two of the 3 men might have like a lady at home who they are financially taken care of or something like that, or they need money to I don't know, date the person, or maybe they married to the person like to bring finances home, something like that. That's the only correlation to a woman being involved. And it's like there's a nigga at work that's like making them lose money, and this nigga, your nigga, take the message out resident, is not having it. He's standing up for himself, and this might cause like I don't know if this person thinks this man of yours is like a pushover or something like that. This man, it's like this. Take the message like this, right? It was just like Valentine's Day. Like imagine, for example, right? Hypothetically speaking, imagine it's about to be Valentine's Day, like the day or a week before Valentine's Day. They supposed to get paid. Your man supposed to get paid, and the man already knew that check was going towards your Valentine's Day gift, your Valentine's Day dinner, Valentine's Day something for his woman, and then he got a associate, business partner, employee who um was not making it look as though that check was going to come in fruition and full payment because they were slacking off on work, and your man like no. Because if I don't get, because I already, it's like your man was like, I already planned to have this much amount of money so I can do this and I can do that, and then I have this amount of money so my woman can live comfortably and she can have this and she can do that, and this nigga is taking away from my paycheck. Fuck all that shit. You can leave, nigga. Like that. Your nigga is not having it, but I receive it. Like, and this shit is so funny. I'm not wishing for my man or no man of my supporters to be fighting nobody or arguing shit like that. But if your man want to put his foot down, stand up for himself, let him do so. But don't put himself in harm's way. But I guess that wasn't the case because like your man got an ally at work, and they gonna make sure this nigga, either this additional employee, this man at this business place, pull his own weight, work, do what he's supposed to do, because if not, they gonna jump that nigga or they gonna try and get that nigga fired. Technically, from what happened at that shopping experience, after I was finished shopping, that nigga said he quit anyway. So like this That shit was so funny. And like by the time I left out the store, I was looking from the window, them niggas was about to jump him. Like the nigga who was saying, yo, chill, you doing too much and this that, and third, he was trying to break it up. That nigga was trying to fight him by the time I left out the store. So I'm like, not this nigga, oh my gosh, that man got himself into some shit. This a nigga gonna get himself into some shit. And it's not my man, and it's not your man if you're my supporter. That shit was funny. This this could have something to do with the entertainment industry also. Take the message how it resonates. Now, I want to talk about something very quickly, but let me say something first. There's something about um. There's a man who's at peace with a situation he's in, or this it could actually be. Is this a parallel message? There is a man who actually like passed away, who was at peace. All right. Then there's something about a mother figure or a church or some divination from a mother figure from a church um who wanted to either disrupt a man's peace or was invoking conjuring some shit up to not let a deceased man stay at peace. All right, if this is in regards to take the message how it resonates, if this is in regards to a man that is deceased and some maternal mother figure or a church or who goes to a church conjuring up invoking this deceased man's spirit to not have him be at peace, you will know this could be something that previously happened. You will know. Take me how it resonates. You will know because of a natural disaster of an earthquake. All right. Um, this could also correlate to like there's a maternal mother figure or mother from a church or something like that. Who was doing divination to disrupt somebody's peace. It could be an earth sign. Um, they're doing this too, or earth sign involved towards Virgo Capricorn, and it's like she wanted to make things chaotic in this man's life who was at peace or something like that, and not in regards to being unalived or nothing like that. Now, there's also a channel message in regards to there's a man who is sexually active with a woman. And like this is somebody he could be like just having casual sex with, romantic love interest for sure, right? This man has a romantic love interest. He could be keeping this to himself, right? Um, the reasons I said previously before could be in correlation with that, but just take the message how it resonates. There's a mother figure. This could be a mother figure from a church. This could be a mother figure conjuring up some bullshit spirit. Like she's trying to conjure up some spiritual attachments. They, as I'm saying it, they don't like that I'm saying this right now because it's true. There's a mother figure of some sort. Mother figure could be an actual mother figure, a Virgo, a Cancer, a Capricorn, and or a Pisces. If you want exact zodiac and or embodiment. This mother figure, these zodiac signs, take the message how it resonates. You'll know if it's for you. There's a man that is sexually active with a particular woman right now, and this is his romantic love interest. This mother figure, woman, mother figure from a church or these zodiac signs I've mentioned, one or the other, um, doesn't want this man to be with this woman in particular. So what she been trying to do is these separation spells. They're not working. And just by the way, if you want to know, so she keep trying to send these women to this man, different women to this man because, um, in regards to spell work, to keep two people who are supposed to be together. This is just for this example, right? If two people are supposed to be together, right, they're actual partners, romantic lovers, and they're ordained by God, even, right? And someone try to do spell work to break them apart, they have to bring in new men for the woman and new women for the man. So like that, they won't come back together. This man, whoever this person is doing this to, knows the person and the tactic being used. He already knows. Woo! And he is mad at this person. Whoever the person is trying to like start like, woo! Or he just like, and he he could have felt like he had to leave the situation at first. So if you have a romantic love interest that's a man, and he just like all of a sudden just like up and left and hasn't really been as communicative, it's because he knows somebody in the background been trying to do some bullshit in regards to divination against y'all love life. But it's like this is a scenario where he like if, I don't know like damn, I would hope it's not like your mama in law to be or something like that. It's like he know how certain people is around him, and he just like instead of having to go through all the bullshit, he's just gonna take a breather and come right the fuck back to you, like because he's even doing something to make sure, like because he is mad. He is mad to even know that somebody tried to do this in a scenario. If you're wondering where all these random niggas, like I'm not saying you're not attractive. I'm not as a woman. I'm not saying you don't get niggas. But like if you know you just interested in one person, you're dating one person in particular, and all these random niggas just started coming out of nowhere trying to romance you, even from especially if they came from the past. Just to know that was a part of the divination spellwork somebody was trying to do against you in your relationship. Don't worry, the nigga will be right back. I received it. Now, so that is one message. Now, this is the last thing I'm going to say in regards to this channel message. And I think honestly this is the most interesting part of the message I'm going to do today. Because this is something I've known about for a while, and I didn't care enough to talk about this topic, but I'm gonna try to carefully talk about it to the best of my abilities. So, how do I want to explain this? So, all I'm gonna say is, a few years ago, a very intriguing to some scenario had took place, and I knew something spiritually wasn't right, so I left a certain location. That's all I'm gonna say. And when I left a certain location, I thought, all right, I left a certain location, so it don't got nothing. It didn't have nothing to do with me, not necessarily. I just knew spiritually somebody was trying to attack people of a certain location. So I was like, all right, if I take myself out of the location, it ain't gonna be as bad. But what I found a few years ago, and I talk about this in my previous messages, that like I was going through some like really unwarranted things that I could not explain that was going on. And it wasn't until as of recent I figured out the correlation to what was going on of that location and what's happening now. All right. So I'm gonna explain the scenario like this. There's certain people who want to watch this video and they're gonna know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. For the other people who don't know what I'm talking about, it might just be a channel message for you, right? In regards to your spiritual life, your home life, and your career, there could have been someone leading you in the right direction, and someone didn't like that shit. All right, I in regards to what I'm talking about, 4 people involved at minimum. All right, let's say 3 of the people, including the person who's leading you in the right direction, are all good people. Howsoever, one person was not. No pun intended. You don't know what this one person out of the 4 people in the group be thinking. A scenario took place that shouldn't have took place. And the person who was supposed to lead you in the right direction and somebody didn't want them to do so, someone tried to get rid of that person. That person who leading the group was in a group of a minimum of 4. So person person who was leading the group, they tried to take that person out. Then there was 3, a minimum of 3. The person within the group of 4 then turned 3 at a minimum, and out of the 3 people, one person is not leading you in the right direction. So there's 2 people who has observed this scenario and what took place that are in good standing. One of the 3 is not. No pun intended. When the person who was leading you in the right direction was supposedly taken out of the equation, certain things didn't make any sense. Because instead of the 3 other people, even with the 2 people in good standing, when a spiritual evaluation had to be done on what happened to the person who was taken out, instead of these 3 people being evaluated, they tried to do point of contacts to other people who were not in the 4-person at minimum dynamic and scenario. I believe this is like a sign language. What letter is this in sign language? Or what does it mean? Anywho's. So, the point of contact was the person who was leading you in the right direction, right? That someone tried to take out. There was actually 5 people involved. The 4 people, so 3 people here, the 1 person who was targeted, right? They tried to take this person out by using the 5th element was a different person. The different person not had ulterior motives for this person to take the other person out, right? Y'all, whoever y'all is, found out that this who this 5th person was, and it got taken care of to a certain extent. But there's 3 people who were not evaluated properly. Yet, all you need to know is the minimum of 2 other people within that group who are still standing are in good standing. It's only 1 other person out of the 3 who has a correlation with the person who planned to take that other person out to lead them in the right direction. 1 person already is not going in the right direction, but they're trying to cover their tracks. I'm going to say something real quickly, right? I was going through certain scenarios, right? When this particular scenario had happened a few years ago. And I wasn't in a particular location when after God gave me the spiritual message, like, oh yeah, it's like a spiritual warfare. They're trying to attack this location and something like that, the people of it. So just remove yourself. You can come back, but just remove yourself for now. But when I remove myself, it's like because of the connections I have with certain people from that location, it's like it still was a point of contact. So I was going through certain things that didn't make any sense. It wasn't like an everyday thing. It wasn't necessarily as bad. Howsoever, it was just like certain things. So like, all I'm gonna say is, I have an ex-lover who's a Pisces, right? God forbid, I'm not conjuring him up. All I'm gonna say is, I met him when I was in adolescence, right? And I didn't know then, basically, he was a bad person, but like looking back now, I understand he was a bad person. When I was in adolescence. After I stopped dating him for a period of time, there was a female I used to go to school with, and she got the same first name as me, as Jessica. She was just a different ethnicity. We was always type cool. We didn't speak too much, but we was type cool. You feel me? Until after she divorced her ex husband, she dated my ex lover, the Pisces. I didn't know they was dating. When I was out of adolescence previously, the nigga tried to date me again. I did not know he was dating the other woman with the same name as me. Fun fact, B, I spent a whole entire night and day together. Then he mysteriously, I don't know why it's prevalent for me to tell you all this, but like my life be a movie sometimes. But my life be a movie sometimes. Not this wild nowadays, but like, so the nigga didn't tell me he was dating somebody else or whatever the case may be, and we spent a whole night and day together. He left me at his home. I was there with his mama, his grandmama, you know. And he said, I gotta go do something. I'll be back. Just stay comfortable. You good. He was taking too long. I said, what the fuck is taking so long? I ended up leaving his home. That nigga was messing me like, why you left and this, that, and third. I was coming right back. I left because I went online. I found out he had got married the day before. I'm like, yo, you're not like, no, just no. But that was in the past, you know, stuff like that. And that marriage also didn't work out. But then it's like, I um I later forgave him for it because afterwards he had got divorced to the woman, and then he kept trying to come back into my life. But I was kind of like, I don't like particularly. This correlates. I don't really particularly feel safe around him. I feel like there's something off about him. I just couldn't put my finger on it. I mean, in correlation to what happened previously, in correlation to him like trying to be with me the day after he got married and everything like that, and didn't tell me. I mean, yeah, that was like proof enough for me not to keep fucking with the nigga. But after he had got divorced, I was like, I'm still not fucking feeling it. And then it was that time period after this particular scenario had took place, right? That didn't necessarily have nothing to do with me, and I kind of distanced myself because I didn't want to be privy to the spiritual attack or whatever the case might be, right? We had got back in connection again previously, and I was preaching to him about the Bible, and then like it's like we had one particular conversation about the Bible, and the conversation we were having was in regards to, I was like, yeah, I think I was talking about the book of Psalms. I was giving him an example of like, you know, you can use the book of Psalms as like spells because their prayer and songs or something like that. But we was having a conversation about that, and he was kind of like, "How you know that?" But he wasn't trying to let up like, "Oh, like how you know that?" Like it was like, and because he knew that also, he had learned it from his mothers or something like that, and he was more like he's from Trinidad, by the way. So he's like basically how you know that, but then he kind of like cleaned it up. It was like, oh yeah, it's good to know that you know stuff like that. And like right after that conversation, he's like, I need to see you like right now. I need to see you. I need to see you. This and third. I'll tell you that the last day I seen that nigga. I hope he's somewhere in the ditch. I don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. Because of what he tried to do. But you know, God brought me home safely. That's all I'm gonna say. Anywho's, anywho's. The only reason I brought this nigga up is because when my sibling had gave him a nickname. I'm not gonna tell you what his actual name is. My sister had gave him a nickname, not to his face. Like it was like an inside joke between me and my sibling. She called him Corinthians, like from the Bible Corinthians. I'm gonna tell you why it's significant to what I'm talking about right now. So in that scenario of 5 people, someone outside the group that wanted to take somebody out who was in a leadership position, and then there's something about correlation to the one out of the 3 people who have some sort of dealings with this person who want to take out somebody in a leadership position. but try to cover their tracks. There's a correlation to that one out of three persons and the person who want to take out the person in leadership position. In regards to the example I gave you with that ex lover I had, because like after I seen certain things about this person, their personality and characteristics, I never felt safe around this person. I've always felt like a weird energy coming off of them. Something about their personality, their characteristics, like they wasn't all the way there. Keep that in mind. Stay away from that person. Not saying stay away from it, but like limit your what you say and do around this person. Because after that scenario, I went back later, previously before, I went back to that location I was talking about earlier, right? Where I was told previously that it was about to be like some sort of spiritual attack, something like that, right? Came back over there, and I met this Caribbean guy. And he was being so nice to me, and nobody fucking liked him. At that location, nobody liked this fucking person. There was a living situation where maybe four out of 3 or 4 out of the maybe 2 to 4 out of the 4 people were all living together at some point in time. Before that situation, where another person outside the group tried to take somebody down, and then one of the 3 other people had something to do with the person taking down the other person. Follow on. It was all living together. But after that situation, I later came back to that location. That same person who was in that living situation with them, nobody else wanted to live with that person. All right, found that very interesting. Now, but I didn't know that prior to. But keep that in mind. I didn't know who this person was in regards to that situation. That person was being very, very nice to me. Was really, really trying to like befriend me. Like was really trying hard to befriend me, and I saw nobody else fuck with this person. From experience with me, I've always been that type of person. Like when people are mean to other people, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. I try to be nice to them also. Because I wouldn't want somebody doing that to me to isolate me out. Howsoever, what I've learned through experience also is that I like to be nice to those type of people because you never know what they thinking, or what they're capable of because of said type of isolation. Anywho's, so I think we're trying to befriend me. We exchanged numbers. Um, I blocked and deleted his number early on because, and I'm gonna tell you why. The first reasoning was because we would have conversations, and then it would take like the conversations if I sounded too knowledgeable about something, um, if I was too good at some skill or something like that, better than him, or if I knew certain people other than him in regards to his career and stuff like that, he would become offended and a little bit misogynistic. And I didn't like that. And it kind of sounded with an angry undertone, so I didn't like that. But I was just like, all right, I'm going to just limit my conversations with him. Until one day that nigga called my phone, and because of prior experience, I believed he was trying to record and or tap my phone. So I blocked that nigga and everything. I stopped talking to him. One moment. Yeah.
I was reading the book.
What book you read?
Little Bear.
That's nice. I didn't know you still had that bear. I didn't know you still had that book. Excuse me. It's alright. I'm vlogging. I'm almost done. I'm vlogging for the day. So yeah, back to what I was saying. So yeah, that was that. And when around the time when I did all that, right before I did all that, I remember the last thing he said to me. This is very ironic. The last thing he said to me before I had to do newer ventures and I had blocked his number, he was making fun of me because like I was coming out of a scenario where it's like certain person or people didn't want me to have things. And then like even the way he was acting when I used to have conversations with him, it's like he didn't want me to have things, and also was trying to make fun of me for not having what he thought I should have, even though he kind of like not in the best situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he was trying to make me feel bad about shit I really shouldn't feel bad about. Like I ain't gonna hold you, nigga ugly. Like the nigga is ugly. Like and I even that made me like feel some type of way because like nigga you ugly as fuck trying to like make me feel bad. Like it's just like I was just trying to be nice to you. So, anyways, he made a comment one day because I like I used to like bringing like my notebooks and my pens and certain things in like a tote bag when I would go to that location previously. Until one day he tried to do a backhanded compliment and he called me the bag lady and tried to make fun of me. He said, like, you're a lady, you shouldn't be carrying a tote bag. You need like a purse or something like that. I almost was looking at a nigga like, is you gonna buy me a purse? Like, would you know what purse to buy me? But essentially, the nigga had a crush on me and finds me attractive. So like, essentially he probably would have, but like that nigga is ugly. So he not the type of ugly I want. Like you know, like anywho, um, so you know, because of that, I think my mother had gave me one of her bags because of that comment that guy made. And, you know, I was content with the bag I had, but like I worked at it. I continued like persevering and then as of recently, for the holidays I gifted myself my own bag. A bag of my choice, a bag I wanted. Um a really cute bag. And and it was so interesting because I seen him one particular day after I got the bag and I brought it to that location, and I was telling him like, you know, because he was talking about something. I was like, you know, you used to call me the bag lady. And there's another scenario because after that situation, I had seen a previous friend that I'm no longer friends with. That's a Virgo, right? Did some really fucked up shit to me, um, like, like indirectly using other people. And when I saw her, I was so freaking mad because I ain't seen her in so many years. And within the years that I hadn't seen her, people had came to me and told me basically what she had did when I was friends with her that could have then been deemed very traumatic. But so many years had passed by, I shouldn't have been mad the way I was mad, but it was only because it felt like I just found out the day before because I ain't seen that person so long. And the first thing I heard her say when she walked into the um location I was when previously when I had seen her, she was like, I don't want to carry all them bags. And that was the first moment I realized when that man made that comment like, oh, you the bag lady. It's like I be getting to the bag. Everybody mad. Everybody ain't mad. It's just your opposition. Some niggas know they not um don't have a destiny calling their life to get bags. You know, slang terminology. So that means money. Um nigga was calling me the bag lady. I didn't know it was a backhand compliment because he was talking about I look like I'm supposed to be getting money, so look like you got your money on you or something like that. Long story short, so I basically seen him after I got the bag and I was telling him how like, you know, what he said kind of like made me want to go get a bag for myself, literally. And even he was offended by that. And that he was being very like obnoxious, um very egotistical about it. Like, oh, I told you to get a bag. Well, you got you a new bag because I said so. Anywho's, so I was A scenario came up. It's so interesting. A scenario came up, and I was a little disappointed in my nigga previously about something. And I was kind of at a situation. I'm like, do I still want to be like in the situation, the relationship, and stuff like that? And I prayed to God about it. And I was like, all right, matter of fact, I'm gonna go to this location. I'm gonna just go talk to some people, not necessarily about relationship stuff, but let me just go out and talk to people. Let me not isolate myself. Let me not sit in anger and being mad. Let me be happy and talk to people. Ironically, God sent somebody to me to talk to me about my relationship, and everyone said, "You're good. You're fine. Like, keep at it." And I didn't really want to bring up anything about my relationship, but a lot of good things were said to protect the relationship and giving me advice. But the way it happened is like they kind of brought it up in a way where other people could hear what we were talking about. And that nigga was there that day. Exactly after we had the conversation where me and a few people were talking about my relationship and my nigga, this nigga gonna come and ask me for my number again. So I'm like, fuck it. I gave the nigga my number because before I was just like, oh yeah, I'm so nervous to give this nigga my number because he recording me or possibly like trying to tamper with my phone. I'm like, nigga, you try that shit, you gonna fucking die. Like that's my mindset now. So I gave the nigga my number. I got back home that day. That nigga left me a voicemail on my phone in a baby voice. This nigga don't got a baby voice. This nigga was mimicking a baby voice. Like, hey, it's me. I'm just like, what the actual fuck? I'm like, I ain't even listen to the rest of the message. I heard that fucking voice. I turned that fucking voicemail off. I was like, nah, like, I'm not even about to fucking play with you. Like, I'm just like, I don't. It's like what? Like, why would that? Why would that make like somebody feels as though if they act childish with you, like it's going to make like you might be a mothering, nurturing, compassionate person, and somebody feel like they act childish with you, they'll bring that side of you out to boost their self esteem and or ego, and it's like, bitch, like you look a fucking fool. Anywho's, so the nigga called me a few days after he had left me the voicemail and I didn't fucking pick up the phone. I didn't even save the number. The nigga like the nigga called me. I didn't know who number that was. But I was like, I know everybody who's in my phone. So like I'm just like, oh, this must be that nigga. So I already knew. So I'm like, because it wasn't saved. So I picked up the phone call. Now, it was at that moment I learned who that nigga first and last name because caller ID puts your first and last name on there sometimes. So especially because it's not saved. So he has a nickname. So I never really thought too much into why they call his nickname his nickname. I'm not gonna tell you what his nickname is because like then he'll know I'm talking about him. Um. So yeah, his first name. Do y'all watch? Well, he might know if I say it like this, but I don't give a fuck. If you ever watch them TRA Rags videos, and he has them Glenn funny videos. One of the most funniest pieces of content he makes is the Glenn videos. That is what that nigga act like. That. Anyways, so yeah. So I saw the name on call ID. We have a conversation. One of the things that I realize with people in general is sometimes like, especially with my zodiac embodiments and placements, people become like really obsessive with me. I told you this previously in previous messages about previous friends I've had. They was trying to play tug of war with me, literally. Friends trying to fight over me, literally, so on and so forth. I'm not just talking about friendships. Like, I'm telling you, like, people don't like to see me leave. People don't want to see me go. Like, people want to talk to me for long periods of time. It's a lot. But, I'm thankful to God about it. I just know how to navigate better. So, they got on the phone with me. I talked to him for, like, almost, like, 2 hours on the phone. This nigga called me, ain't have shit to talk about. He wanted me to lead every conversation. Then, in regards to the location where I know him from, he was like, "Yeah, so like, when are you gonna like pick up some work to do at the location?" And I'm like, "Is it necessary?" And he was just like, "Well, I got 7 jobs over there, so I know I can get you to do something." I'm just like, "You got 7 jobs? It's very impressive there to like that." And he was just like, "Yeah, like you can't be sitting on your ass and just not doing." Who the fuck you talking to? Anywho's, that nigga wanted to keep me close, and then long story short, he was just like, "So when you gonna let me take you out on a date or something like that?" I have a boyfriend. I have a man actually. That nigga got so fucking quiet. That nigga was so fucking quiet. I had to change the conversation, and then the conversation had kind of turned to like, what makes a man qualified to date you, and this, that, and the. Mind you, the nigga is ugly and not my type of ugly. Like, cause I have a preference. There's some ugly, cute niggas, you know. But then, like, this nigga just ugly. Like, I was like, so like he talk. So basically, the nigga was basically implying that he gave no fucks that I have a man, and he was still going to try to pursue me. That was at the time of the conversation where I was like, yeah, well, I have to go do some errands. I'm gonna talk to you later. That nigga immediately said, so you trying to hurry up and get me off the phone? Is that your way of trying to get hurry up and get me off the phone? I'm gonna talk to you later. Matter of fact, he didn't say I'm gonna talk to you later. That nigga said, when you're finished doing what you're doing, call me back. I never called him back. Who the fuck do you think you are? Like, it's just some audacity I just cannot fathom. Like, so during the phone call, he was inquiring about when the next time he was gonna see me at this particular location. Kept asking me about it. That's how it got into the conversation. When he realized I wouldn't give him a straight answer, he was like, yeah, well, we're gonna have to get you some work over there at that location. It's like he trying to keep tabs on me. You're not my nigga. I know who my man is. You're not my nigga. So, like I said, I never called him back, and he was inquiring if he was going to see me on a particular day or something like that. I said maybe, I don't know, this and that. Now I knew for sure I was going to this location this particular day he was asking about, but I didn't give him a straightforward answer. I told him I was gonna call him back. I didn't call him back. The next day came. This nigga called me at 11 p.m. 11 p.m. I let that shit ring. I let that bitch ring. What the fuck is you talking about? You have all day to call my phone if you really want to talk to me. And given the first conversation that we had, the first time I had gave him second time I had gave my number actually, he ain't have nothing to talk about. He want me to lead the whole conversation. I'm not even interested in that person enough to even care. 2 hour conversation that I had to lead a conversation that I did not care to pick up the phone and call this nigga to even have. Talk about call me back when you done with your errands. I certainly did not call him the fuck back. Next day came. Next day came. He waited the whole day. Waited till 11 p.m. That's booty call hours. Backstory: like when I originally gave him my number the first time, after like once he started getting to that misogynistic mood, he started talking about like sexual relations and stuff like that. What he like, I think this nigga started talking about he's into prostitutes and shit. I think that was one of the main reasons I blocked his number the first time. He said he basically said he like prostitutes, but he would like a woman of his own, but like if he can't get the woman that he would like wine and dine a prostitute or something like uh, So I never called that nigga the fuck back. The next day came. He called me at 11 p.m. I kept that in mind as he called me at 11 p.m. It's like I'm not necessarily booty call hours, but like you're not my nigga. Like I already told you the day before I have a man, and you calling me at 11 p.m. That's wildly disrespectful. You not even cute to be even doing no shit like that. I just had to emphasize on this part because it's just like so. I went to the location the next day. Like I said, I might or might not be gone, but between me and God, I knew I was going to that location. When I went there, that nigga was nowhere to be found. This nigga was 7 jobs at that location because I didn't tell him the day before I was going to be there. That nigga decided not to show up, and I was blessed because of it. Now, after that scenario, um, matter of fact, before he had called me at 11 p.m. that day, the right after I got the phone call and he was like, the day before, and he was like, call me when you finish with your errands. I was having a conversation with God. I was talking out loud, and I was like, God, I think that nigga's an informant. I don't know informant for what. It's not in regards to me, not necessarily. But I was like, I think this nigga's an informant. I said it just like that. I don't know exactly why I was like for sure saying that shit, but I said it just like that. The nigga called me the next day at 11 p.m. and I was like, 11 is the number of prophecy, prediction, of grace. Can be symbolic of other things too. If you, anywho, so like I said, I never picked up that nigga call. Didn't see him the next day because I didn't answer his call. I just thought it was very ironic that he called my phone at 11 p.m. after I said he was an informant. So earlier today, um, well, these previous 2 days, I've been having dreams back to back to back to back. No pun intended. I was having a very vivid dream. Excuse me. Oh, it's issue for your enemy right now. I have a very specific dream. Very vivid dream. And when I woke up, I heard a certain song that has been a channel message for something I'm curating right now. I could say it right. Top dog, no secret, no evidence to keep me, ain't no secret at all. So when you see that channel message, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. Don't like that I'm saying that right now. You know, me and my supporters are heavily protected. Now, I really like that song. I really like that interlude. It's a really good song, especially if you know that feeling of what that song embodies. When I heard that song, when I heard that interlude, I'm just like, that shit was, fuck is you talking about? I really like that song. But I don't listen to it often, so when I hear that song, it's very motivational to me. Now, as soon as I woke up from the dream, I could not remember nothing from the dream, but that song kept playing because I'm curating some channel messages right now. So like with that song, and right after I heard that song, that person I'm talking about right now, that's nigga that called me at 11 p.m. previously, I was like, why the fuck am I thinking about this nigga? So I was like, you know what? Names have meanings. Let me look up his name. So I looked up his actual name. And now I look up his name. All I'm gonna say is his name has something to do with valleys, all right? And it's so interesting because like at church we were talking about like the Garden of Eden and doing stuff like that, and geographically the areas of the garden and stuff like that. Some of y'all might know I'm a Taurus. Literally, the flower symbolic for Taurus is lily of the valley. So I'm just like, it's no way this nigga changed his name or was implied to change his name to a nickname rather than using his full government name when his actual name is of something good. But then again, you never know what kind of valley because my whole life The family prayer has been Psalm 23. Even in the valley of shadow of darkness, I fear no evil, for God is with me. And that's the first thing I thought about when that's the first thing I thought about, because it's like, why would this nigga change his name to a whole nother name? I'm not gonna tell you what he changed his name to neither. I'm gonna just tell you symbolically what I found out. When I said, so like, I found out that biblically his nickname that was given to him is symbolic in the Bible for multiple different people in the Bible, but they all had like similar positions. There was only one prominent one. I'm like, ain't no way this nigga ain't research his nickname like the book of Samuel came up. I ain't saying nothing was wrong with the man of God in the Bible named Samuel, but do your research of who else is named Samuel besides the man of God in the Bible. That there's a Samuel that also is somewhat mentioned in the Bible. We don't give no fucks about him. Um, then this nickname of this guy that I already was like about, why book 1 and book 2 of Chronicles. No, sorry, I said Chronicles. Something about Chronicle. Book 1, book 2. God forbid, no negativity in my life and my support's life. Book 1 and book 2 of Corinthians. Remember earlier in the message, I was just telling you that there was an inside joke between this Pisces ex lover, not between me and this Pisces ex lover, but about my Pisces ex lover with me and my sibling. We used to call him Corinthians in regards to Corinthians. And he was trying to, that's the same ex that was trying to school me on the book of Corinthians also. And this nigga was an ancient ass person. Oh, so after he, that ex lover I was talking about previously, the Pisces, in regards to the nickname Corinthians, after I realized he was a bad person, I decided to do my own investigation of him. Like, just look him up online. This nigga has a mugshot for fucking terroristic threats against and the person who got him locked up for the terroristic threats was the female that I was kind of cool with, adolescent of Latino descent, who had the same fucking first name as me. The woman he was married to, but had become with. And then, so when I saw this nigga nickname was not only in book 1 but book 2 of Corinthians, I said, God, I don't believe in coincidences. I know you trying to tell me about this nigga, yo. I know you trying to tell me about this nigga. Like, I know you trying to tell me about this nigga. So, all God wants you to know about this particular person, there's some sort of word to the message. Because I was trying to ask God in regards to the person, the outsider that tried to set somebody up in leadership, right? I'm like, what correlation would he have with the 3 other people, right? Because I know the correlation is between this other nigga, right? Out of the 3 that was within the 4 people group that tried to that assisted with helping take it down to the person's leadership, right? The other 2 are in good standing. All right. The person who tried to take the person leadership down lived in a whole nother state, a southern state. So they had to come up to the north to try to take this person down. So based on the scenario that happened before, my line of questioning is now, I'm like, how would this person know what location, not talking about the location I was at, how would the person know that outside of the 4-person group previously, how would, at minimum, how would this person know where this person, to take them down, what location they were at or where they were going at a specific time? That I'm like, you know what? I know how to do my due diligence. I know how to research. You can find where anybody, reside at. But how would they know what time they was gonna be there? How would they know what car they were driving? Because of newfound information that I found out, because I wasn't at that particular location when said scenario after the fact and stuff like that, right? I was told that the person in leadership had a brand new vehicle for the most part. And the location they were at, these people together who were being led in regards to leadership, they had been moved from the southern state to the northern state for some years now. So how would somebody who previously knew somebody who either did or did not have a vehicle then, if they did have a vehicle then, it probably was a different vehicle because they have a new vehicle. They had a new vehicle. How would someone who wasn't supposedly in contact with somebody for a set amount of years know what type of vehicle somebody was in to find them? And know what time to be at a particular location? To know that they'd be arriving at a location to take them down from leadership. Use context clues if you like. Then there was another line of questioning. I'm trying to be very careful on what I'm saying. It was also brought to my attention years after this scenario, or around the time frame where certain things were taking place in regards to spiritual warfare at a particular location, right? Previously, there was an incident where someone tried to use some sort of technology to spy, like some sort of spyware or a a recorded device to illegally listen in on a particular person who had nothing to do with the scenario, right? Another person in leadership, right? The location where the device was found is a location where only people of leadership are privy to. So the line of questioning is so somebody wants me to know, oh, it's not just privy to people in leadership. Fuck off. All right, so let's say this. Yes, other people are allowed to go into a particular location, room where this recorded device was planted. Because people of leadership are supposed to be within that confinement when others can be in that environment. So if there's a certain location where the where within only leadership are allowed to use that one specific location, this is like this is like you work in a business and you got like managers, supervisors, then you have like the employees under you. The employees under you can't just willingly walk into the managers and the supervisors' lunchroom. I'm just saying. You know what I'm trying to say. This is just an example. So let's say it's the supervisor's, like let's say it's the supervisor's office or the GM's office. A regular employee can't just walk about in there. If anything, your supervisor, the person in leadership position, has to be in the room with you someone would do so. So my line of questioning is, because the person who need to hear this is going to know what the fuck I'm talking about. What scenario could a location only privy to people in leadership would allow someone not privy to that leadership to be in the room by themselves to possibly plant some sort of recording device. It wouldn't be somebody who's not in leadership. The only way someone would be able to plant a recording device such in a room only privy to people of leadership will be somebody who's also a leader in some sort in regards to business, in regards to you know, managerial positions. Because someone who is not of a leadership position can't go into a leadership room, such as a manager's room, office, um, authoritative leaders' office, and be there by themselves. It's somebody who gained access through leadership to be in such an environment to even have the capacity to try to do something as foolish as that. And I'm gonna leave the message right there. That's it.